Hey listener, welcome to the Comic Relief Podcast.
Hope you survived the experience.
The Comic Relief Podcast is an unscripted discussion about the pop culture surrounding comic books with your hosts,
Uncanny Tawmis Maico
and Mighty Maico Miranda. Hey listener, this is Maico.
And Tawmis.
And you're listening to the special WonderCon edition of the Comic Relief Podcast. So, what were your impressions there at the WonderCon time?
Overall, I actually had a really good time. It's a lot less crowded than San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it has the Comic-Con vibe and the setup just in a smaller scale.
Yes, it's Comic-Con like at its best because it's got a lot of stuff in there. It's not just comics, it has stuff for other people, but it's not just Hollywood, where comics have been shoved off into this corner, which is what I think San Diego Comic-Con has turned into.
Absolutely. And it's nice in between. You get the environment, you get the enthusiasm from the fans, you get some nice vendors, some really nice vendors, you get some big names, but like you mentioned, it's not a big, huge spectacle. It's like a scaled down Comic-Con. It's really nice. Kind of what comic conventions used to be, actually.
Yeah, it's not a sardine of people, basically.
Yeah.
There was actually, when we were walking around, I could stick my arms out and not poke someone in the eye.
Yeah, which he tried.
I tried a couple of times.
Yeah.
There were some people that deserved a good poke in the eye.
That was pretty cool. We got to meet a couple of artists. We got to meet Rob Liefeld. Got an autograph.
Is it Liefeld or Liefeld?
Liefeld, I guess.
I always thought it was Liefeld.
I think you're right, actually. I do apologize, Rob, if you're out there listening.
Yeah.
I'm
going to tag him in the Twitter.
And who else did we meet?
Joey Brown. Is that who you're referring to?
Joey Brown. No, there's another artist as well. We did meet Joey Brown. Very cool. Whilst Portasio.
Oh, Wills.
See, I wanted you to say the name first.
I think it's Wills.
Wills. I've never heard his name pronounced, so I don't know. That's why
we should have asked his wife. Or I assume it was his wife standing there.
That's why I was tossing it to you. Yeah.
And actually, we snapped a photo with both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Real nice guys. Really cool. We got some prints. They signed some stuff. They were really cool.
Yeah, they were both really cool.
Famous X-Men artists.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Famous X-Men artist and famous X-Force artist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they were really cool. It was really nice. It was overall, I had a really good time.
Definitely had a good time. There was a lot there.
Yes.
Scored a lot of shirts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I was looking forward to. So
yeah. Anything jump out at you?
Well, I mean, just everything that was there. There were a few vendors there that I thought were way overpriced. And if I could remember their name, I'd probably name drop because I thought they were way overpriced.
Pretty like a glaringly
overpriced.
Yes, absolutely.
I wish I could remember the name. I really do, because I would name drop it because it really annoyed me.
The name wasn't very prominently displayed because I remember someone was texting me to ask me where I was, and I would look around the booth and I couldn't find the name. Yeah, so I had to go by the column and the aisle that we were in and stuff. I picked up two comics that were the exact same comics. One was priced at $10. One was priced at $20, and then no mention of the condition of the comic or anything like that. It was just a
price difference of $10.
Just a price difference, yes.
So to put it in perspective for me, when I was looking around, we were at that other booth that had they had the whole run of ElfQuest.
Yes,
the original magazine format.
I liked that booth. Booth was
a very good booth, and they had Fantasy Quarterly #1, which is the first appearance of ElfQuest. Mm-hmm. Pretty much in pristine condition. There was no creases, no bends, and for a comic that was really flimsy, it wasn't printed very firm, like backing or anything like that. It was in perfect condition.
Oh yeah, he showed it to us. Everything.
Yeah, it told us the whole story.
No stress marks on the spine. Yeah. Nothing. That was really nice.
So after we'd gone there, we went to that other place that was overpriced. And I thought, well, I'm going to look in here and see if he has an ElfQuest. Mm-hmm. So I start flipping through. And for anyone who listens to this podcast, I'll put it on the ElfQuest page so that they hear it. Mm-hmm. But they had Discovery 1, 2, 3, and 4 all priced at $30 a pop.
Wow.
Now, anyone who knows that, Discovery came out like a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. Like the cover price, I think, was $2.25. So it's a fairly recent comic, and they had it at $30 a pop.
How
I love Wendy Penny, but I don't think that comic is worth $30 yet.
Yeah, no, they were really. It almost seemed like they randomly priced their comics.
$10, $10, $20, $10, $20
in $10 increments.
Yeah,
and it was ridiculous. And then they tried to say like, anything over $6 was half off.
Half off.
That was a rough spot. It kind of left a bad taste a little bit.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I said if I could remember who they were, I would actually pinpoint them and say, stay away from this place.
Yeah.
Like even when your cousin went back, your cousin was like looking, it's like, oh yeah. And I went right over to your cousin and was like, no, dude, way overpriced. Normally I would let someone go look, but I was like, no, dude, do not go here. Whatever you do, don't go here.
Yeah. I honestly thought that the way they were priced was that, like, if it had a number 10, it was this price range. If it had a number 20,
it was
but
this.
no, that was $10 and that was $20. I was pretty rough. But there were some good vendors there. There were some reasonable prices. Overall, I have the same complaint though that I do for Comic-Con, is that Comic-Cons are becoming less and less about comics.
Yeah, and that's even true a little bit for WonderCon, because you said you were going to look for comics, and when we, after we'd done our initial walk around, looked at all the stuff, you said you wanted to look at comics, and that was still kind of hard to find a place that had comics.
Yeah,
we bumped into a few places, but one of them was way overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
That one place had a cool selection of comics. And you guys got, I think, one thing there.
Yeah. But they didn't have like bins that you could go through back issues and look through. No, it was just whatever they had up on the walls.
Yeah.
It was harder to find a reasonable, comic vendor that had bins that you can flip through, like back in the old days.
Yeah, the one place that did have a wide selection, which I'll sponsor out now, is Southern California Comics.
Oh, absolutely.
We ran into Jamie, who is where we pick up our local comics, and he always has a wide selection of stuff. He brings everything. He's got behind the booth, he has all the really expensive comics, and then inside the selection, he's got everything from like the low to the high end stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's just all mixed in there. So Jamie does it right. Mm-hmm. I just wish other people did it like Jamie did.
Yeah. He even had some nice graded comics too that were like in the bins.
In the bins,
browsing. Yeah.
Yep.
That was really nice. A lot of cosplayers too, man.
A lot of
cosplayers. I was really surprised there was a huge turn. I mean, we did go on a Saturday. I mean, Saturday is prime con day for any comic convention. But yeah, there was a lot of really cool outfits. We'll be posting a lot of pictures on our page, on Facebook, on Twitter. Check them out. We ran into
a lot of people, and they were all really nice. I was talking about it in the car. I had flown up to Dragon Con before and dressed up as a pirate and had people take pictures. And it's awesome when people stop you and say, "Hey, can I take your picture?" But as I said, in Dragon Con, as the day went on, it got a lot hotter. I got a lot more uncomfortable, and people would ask for a picture, and it got harder.
In August.
Yeah, in August. So it was really cool that all these people were really, throughout the whole day. Because even when we were leaving at like 5 o'clock, I think we left around 5.
It was 5 o'clock. Yeah,
it was after 5 because it was after Rob Liefeld.
Yep.
So even after then, at the end of the day, when we're walking out, all these people were still okay. When we stopped and said, "Hey, can we take a picture with you?" They were all really cool with it. So I thought that was really, really nice.
Yeah, everybody was really receptive. Yeah, everybody was really nice.
We even got some people to do the heads up game, which we'll be posting the videos for, and that came out really great.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, have to give props especially to Spider-Man, Hawkeye, and Captain America, the girl.
Yeah, Miss Captain America.
Yeah, Miss Captain America. There we go.
Yeah, everybody was really cool. They were good sports. They were okay with us, posting the video up on YouTube. So it was really cool. It was a good turnout.
Yes.
Gave away lots of ribbons.
I have to give props to Maico, because when we stopped at Will Spatasio's booth, is that right? Did I say his name right?
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
I think I got it. Maiko actually was smart enough to say, "Hey, is it cool if you wear our ribbon?" Mm-hmm. So that was actually cool. And Wills was like, yeah. So that was really, really cool. And then also have to give props to Jamie at Southern California Comics, because he also put on our ribbon. So that was also very nice.
Yeah, we met some other folks there that also do some podcasting and promoting and stuff. And
that's true.
We're looking, hopefully in the future, we'll be doing some work with them and interviewing them as well. They seem to be very enthusiastic about the whole culture and all that.
When that happened, when we met those guys, totally was not expected, because we had just gone in to take a funny picture with the Star Trek beam 'em up thing.
Yeah.
And when we came out, they noticed that Maiko, I, and his daughter Alicia were all wearing like our little Comic Relief podcast shirts, and he's like, wait, you guys do a podcast? And we're like, yeah, just thinking he was just gonna ask us about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh dude, I'll drive down there, like he was into it. He's like, I want to go over there, drive to San Diego, we'll do an interview. So that was totally unexpected and really, really cool.
Yeah, it did catch me a little off guard too.
Yeah.
He had a lot of energy.
A lot of energy guy.
A couple of low energy guys.
Yeah, we're just floating by, dude.
Dude,
tone it down, man.
You startled us, bro. You startled us. No, but it was really cool. Good energy is always a good thing.
Yes.
So anything else jump out at you, man?
There was a wide selection stuff. Like, even though there wasn't too many comics, there was a lot of toys. Like, they had so many toys. There was a huge selection of shirts.
How many shirts did you buy?
With a total of 3.
Oh, okay.
Because I bought 2 at the first stop that we stopped at, because they didn't have my size for the Red Lantern. Mm-hmm. But then we went to the other place, and they had the Red Lantern in my size, so I bought it there. So I ended up with 3 shirts.
Oh, okay. I had to talk Thomas out of buying the actual replica lanterns,
yes.
1-to-1 scale. Yeah.
I would have been awesome.
Yeah. Those are nice, though. They had all of them, didn't they?
Well, I think they're missing a few, like the violet, but they had the majority of them. The ones I would have got, the less girly colors.
Yeah. And I noticed, too, that and this is true for the San Diego Comic-Con as well, is that the figures and the toys are taking over the spots, it seems like, where the comics used to be. Oh, yeah. So the comics are now becoming little islands surrounded by toys. Yeah, vendors.
That's, I think, what happened to Comic-Con initially. Like, it went from comics to more toys, then from toys eventually to movies. So I'm kind of worried if that's what WonderCon is headed towards. I hope not.
Looks like it. I mean, I honestly think it does. I think comics have been around for so long, and I think the idea and these characters, I think people like them, people gravitate towards them, but maybe they're too intimidated to jump on and buy comics, but they know the figures from the cartoons that they grew up with, or the movies, so they're more likely to buy the figures. It's like more manageable to buy a series of figures than it would be to go back and buy comics that are thousands of dollars now, or hundreds of dollars, or harder to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also think in the day of like iPads and stuff like that, everything's digital.
Yeah.
So people aren't so inclined to buy comics anymore. That's too archaic, I guess you could say. Like, you reading a book on paper? That's really weird.
Buying a figure is something more tangible. It's like something that's recognizable. You can put up on a shelf, or you can hang up on your wall, and you can immediately recognize it. But, I have nothing against figure collecting, man. I love figures, love statues, all that stuff. I
agree.
That's some really, really nice ones. I wish I could remember. There was this line of figures that has, I believe it's a Japanese artist or a Japanese line, and they just caught our attention, dude.
The Hulk one?
Yeah, there was the Hulk one. There was the Venom one. Really, really big statues.
They were massive.
Yeah, and then they also had smaller figures, but you can tell the faces were very anime in style. The figures themselves, they were really detailed, really nice. I'll be checking them out, man.
Krakoa? No, that's Island in X-Men.
Yeah. There's that.
I thought it was something like that, though. I thought it started with a K.
No, it is. It's like, it was like Kubi something, Ku. I'm thinking Kubiyashi, but I think that's the guy that eats hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about the Mutant Island, and you're thinking about the dude who eats hot dogs.
Yeah. He broke records, man. He's a real athlete.
I had a really good time. And I think, not to make you feel good about yourself or anything,
right,
but being there with you also helped, because I was more inclined to take pictures. Like, usually when I go to a con by myself, I just go. Like, and there's people that I see, and I go, I should take a picture, but meh, whatever. Yeah. And I just let it go. But this time, hanging out with you, I was more inclined to say, hey, let's go take a picture. And we took way more pictures than I would normally ever do.
That's why I held your hand for most of the time.
It was so sweet.
To make you feel safe.
I felt safe.
You look very comfortable. No, yeah, we took a lot of pictures. We'll be posting those up. We got some great pictures. There was, I think, my favorite cosplayer had to have been the Joker from the New 52 Batman, The Death of the Family. The Joker where he had the face cut off, he used his own face as a mask, and he had Joe the mechanic. He had a great costume, man. I dug it. And then there was also a group of Batman's Rogue Gallery that we took towards the end there outside. All as like a group. They had really nice costumes.
Yeah, I don't know who the girl with the gold mask was.
I don't remember who. I don't know. Couldn't figure that out either.
Yeah, I couldn't. That's the only one I couldn't peg. So if you know a Batman villain who has a gold mask, let me know who that is.
So did any cosplayers jump out at you?
There was a lot of them. One of my favorites was right near the end, and that's probably because of my preference of Batgirl.
Oh yeah,
I thought that Batgirl nailed it. To me, she looked a lot like how I would imagine Barbara Gordon would look in real life. She was probably one of my favorites, just because I was like, you look like Batgirl. You look like the chick who's my favorite comic right now. So DC, do not cancel it.
Yeah.
My favorite photo that Amy took was the Catwoman.
The Catwoman in the gray, the animated series suit.
Yes.
Amy
got a great photo of her.
Props. Shout out to Amy for taking wonderful pictures, man. She's a great
and putting up with us.
Yeah, putting up with us, definitely.
Comics are not her thing, and she was willing to do this.
Yeah, she did a great job. She took some wonderful pictures. Most of the pictures that you see, 98% of the pictures that we upload were taken by Amy, and she just killed it, man. Great job.
Yeah. So if you see a good picture, it was Amy. If you see one that wasn't good, it was probably me or Maico.
Yeah.
With our little iPhone and Android phone.
Yeah. Even if we're in it, it
was still us somehow.
Yeah. I do agree. And she took a great picture of Catwoman too. It was like it almost looked like she posed for that shot. And when in actuality she didn't. I mean, Amy kind of
went to the side
and just took a quick picture from the side, and it looks like she was posing for Amy. That was really, really cool.
Everything there was really, really cool. Like, I enjoyed myself. Everyone was pleasant. There was enough room to walk around and see things. Wasn't too crazy crowded. Oh, another favorite moment of mine was right at the end as we were leaving. Hopefully this isn't going to offend anyone who goes to church, but there was a couple of gentlemen there who had the Jesus loves you and Jesus is here to save you, and they were yelling and screaming about how everyone who goes to Comic-Con is going to hell.
Right.
And there happened to be a Jason from Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street, and...
Was it Leatherface or was it Michael Myers?
It was Leatherface, because he had the chainsaw and everything.
That's right.
And so some guy was in the crowd and said, hey, I want to take a picture with you guys in front of this sign. And so all three of them lined up right in front of this dude who's yelling about Jesus, and they stood in front of it, and the picture is basically them three with that sign right behind them that says, Jesus will save you. So it's kind of funny that you get these three very iconic horror figures standing in front of the Jesus loves you thing.
And then there was also one of the signs was like you're going to hell or something like that. So it was perfect.
Yeah, that was a great moment. Yeah, the quote unquote Jesus lover was being quite obnoxious, I would say. Yeah. He was yelling at the top of his throat.
He's a street preacher. I don't know if you guys have been to most popular conventions. San Diego Comic-Con is a great example. You'll see these guys on street corners with bullhorns and
yelling
their
at the
signs. Yeah. They're a part of the scenery there as well, unfortunately.
So and we wore our shirts today. Mm-hmm. So we all three of us had our Comic Relief podcast shirts. So that was really cool.
My daughter Alicia came with us, and she rocked her shirt, and she got her air filter, really cool air filter with Punisher.
I'm trying to get her to say hello.
She's shy.
She's shaking her head no.
Yeah, we put her on the spot. But yeah, we had a really good time, man. It was cool. The whole event was cool. I liked it. I'll definitely be going back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a shame we only got to do one day, but I think I'm good with one day. I think my wallet will thank me as well.
I think my old bones will thank me.
Your joints.
It was right near the end, man. I was like, my knee is about to give out on me. I'm just gonna walk and it's just gonna go away. Hate being old.
Just gonna hit the deck.
I'm just gonna lay here.
Just gonna collapse. And people take pictures
of me passed out.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, that was it. Just want to do just a quick little talk about WonderCon.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back with you soon. We got some interviews lined up. Come by on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, and
subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Absolutely.
All those links that we just mentioned will be at the very end of this podcast.
So thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.
Till next time.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Relief Podcast.
We'll hope you join us next time as we continue to discuss all things comic book related.
And until then, make mind Marvel
and DC
and independent. Don't forget to check us out at comicreliefpodcast.com, or you can visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Comic Relief Podcast. Or go to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Comic Relief Podcast. And finally, there is our Twitter page, which is twitter.com/Comic Relief PODC. I'd like to give a special shout out to Travis Richards, who did the music for the Comic Relief Podcast. Visit his website at www.travisarichards.com. Hey, this is Maico and this is Tom. We're doing a quick special about the WonderCon or whatever.
We'll just use that. I think I threw in some words from like work.
Thanks for calling WonderCon.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for listening or something like that.